Bring in show music, please.
This is Squawk Pod, and I'm CNBC producer Cameron Costa. Merry Christmas. First, the hard news.
If the tariffs don't ruin the economy, you think the left is not going to be disappointed?
Updates from the Saudi LIV Golf League and the president's $100,000 charge for H-1B visas. And then the holiday fun.
Whether you have a wonderful life and spend Christmas with family or you're home alone, everyone has a favorite Christmas movie, unless, of course, you're a Grinch.
Steve Liesman has a ranking of Christmas movies from his latest economic survey. And for those of us who prefer sports on Christmas Day, Rich Kleiman, sports entrepreneur and longtime agent for Kevin Durant.
I mean, these are 5 incredible games. It's like 13 hours of NBA.
Finally, it is a busy day for Santa. Our holiday tradition here at CNBC is we ask the North American Aerospace Defense to help us track St. Nick on his global journey. General Gregory Guillot, the Air Force's U.S. NORTHCOM commander, is watching the skies.
Rudolph with his shiny nose and the infrared sensors is helpful.
It is Wednesday, December 24th, 2025.
Wish everyone
a very happy
holiday
Merry
and
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
A very merry Squawk Pod begins right now.
Stand Andrew by in 3, 2, 1. Cue Andrew.
Good morning. Welcome to Squawk Box right here on CNBC. We're live at the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. I'm Andrew Sorkin along with Joe Kernen. Becky is off on this Christmas Eve.
Pro golfer Brooks Koepka, saw this yesterday. Brooks Koepka announcing that he's going to leave. He's going to leave LIV. Saudi Arabia-funded LIV Golf League more than 3 years after he joined. A statement from Koepka's representatives says the 5-time major championship winner feels now is the right time to spend more time with his family. Koepka was one of the biggest signings when he jumped to the league from the PGA Tour in 2022. It's unclear if or when he might try to rejoin that tour. Tour rules say he would have to sit out at least a year before returning. In a rare statement acknowledging a live player, the PGA Tour said Brooks Koepka is a highly accomplished professional, and we wish him and his family continued success. The PGA Tour continues to offer the best professional golfers the most competitive, challenging, and lucrative environment in which to pursue greatness. It's pronounced live. That's how unconsequential to me this whole thing has been, Andrew. And I can't even remember whether it's pronounced live or live, but I guess it's a stupid name anyway, right? I don't know what happened to consolidation efforts or whatever else. That's what I was looking up because I'm like, oh, live or live.
Because the deal never really
that's what I mean. And
got there.
You look at, there have been some great players and there's some interesting, it's weird for me to watch. They're cheering and the weird teams. I don't know how the points work. Some of the great players that went there, you would have to say didn't really flourish. Like Brooks was on a fast track to majors winning, and I don't know, shouldn't be talking about it, but and Dustin Johnson, others that went, it just, and then there's some of the guys that definitely said no to the huge money, Rory and others, and I don't know, I don't know how it finally reconciles itself, but that's an interesting story. So it's live, in case you're wondering.
It is live. Meantime, the Trump administration notching a win in its campaign to charge $100,000 for new HB1 visas. That's for highly skilled foreign workers. A federal judge rejecting a challenge to the fee that had been brought by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. The chamber arguing that the fee conflicts with federal immigration law and is going to lead to companies cutting jobs and public services. But the judge said that the President Trump's move fell under his broader power to regulate immigration. She was appointed by former President Barack Obama, in case you're wondering. So a little bit of context and detail there on that decision.
I didn't watch Hunter yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, but it's the cover of the Post. It's very strange. Did you see?
I did not.
It's bizarre. It's got everybody. It says that President Obama didn't let him lobby domestically, or was saying you're not allowed to do that. Joe Biden was the vice president, so his son told him not to do it. That's why he had to go and do it abroad at Burisma and Ukraine and other places. But the Post decided that was the most important story of not the 4.3% GDP. It was a pretty good number yesterday. We'll see if it lasts. What happened to the government slowdown? Is that in the next?
I think we're going to have to see everything in about a month or two to actually figure out what's going on. Look,
you were embracing it. You're very happy that it happened in the first. You just think we can't take it as.
Sure, but I also think.
No, but are you happy? Because a lot of people were not happy about it.
Well, the people who were not happy were people who wanted lower interest rates.
And people that just. That's not the only people who didn't want a good number.
No. Look, we all want a good number.
Plenty of people who hate Trump that didn't want a good number.
We all want a good number.
You are not the royal we here. You do not speak for the left.
It doesn't have to be put through the context of.
You always say you don't speak for the left.
I do not.
And in this case, you definitely don't, because they didn't like that number.
What are you talking about? I mean, they didn't like
will
that
you
number.
Live in the, will you ever move into the real world?
How could you
will
not
you ever
like
move
that number?
and admit what the real world actually looks like?
Not just living in some kind of politically divided universe, some kind of religious.
You think the left
you think everything on every.
Andrew, if the tariffs don't ruin the economy, you think the left is not going to be disappointed?
I imagine people who argued that it. Yeah, sure, in a certain way, but I don't think that if you see good numbers, you see good numbers.
I know it's Christmas time, and you're being, you're
I got my candy cane tie on.
I was looking at
I'm ready to go.
That's like a maroony thing. Is it?
It's candy cane. It's supposed to be candy cane.
Is it supposed to be candy cane? Or
I mean, it's in the candy cane vicinity. It's not a real candy cane, but sure. I thought I was,
That's nice. That's nice. I wore red, then I wore green. I thought about purple today. Purple's kind of a Christmassy color, isn't it? But then I thought it would look like, purple strategies, whatever that is.
I think, a nice Grinch outfit for you, I think, would be good.
A nice Grinch outfit.
No.
Walmart has a lot of.
Do they have a lot of Grinch this year?
They have a lot in their ads. The Grinch is their spokesperson and all their.
Really?
You ever notice that?
No.
You're reading your own book or something? Is that what?
I'm so, focused on the children.
On the children. Okay. A large number of baristas that were on strike are set to return to their coffee house counters. Starbucks Chief Partner Officer Sarah Kelly posted the news online saying that the Starbucks Workers United Union issued an unconditional return to work notice. Kelly said employees at 166 of the 215 affected coffee houses want to come back, though some locations will remain under a strike notice. In a post on X, the union said baristas are continuing to strike. It also said that yesterday, 19 additional Starbucks locations filed for a union election.
Cheese will be next.
Coming up on Squawk Pod, Christmas viewing. First, how popular is your favorite Christmas movie? Steve Liesman has rankings from his All-America Economic Survey.
Die Hard, which came out in July, so there's a debate about whether it is a Christmas movie. We'll talk about that in a second.
Don't worry, that's not number one. Then famed agent for Kevin Durant, Rich Kleiman, previews the 5 NBA matchups on Christmas Day.
The NBA is just filled with incredible young stars right now. And then you still have LeBron, Steph, and Kevin, and James Harden, some of these older guys that are still performing at a high level.
Welcome back to Squawk Pod this Christmas Eve with Joe Kernen and Andrew Ross Sorkin.
Now to the great Christmas Day viewing debate. Christmas movies or sports? Senior economics reporter Steve Liesman is at the table this morning. The result of the CNBC All-America Economic Survey and what Americans watch on the holidays, sir.
Yeah, we threw this question in with our survey, decided to save it until now, have a little fun. Whether you have a wonderful life and spend Christmas with family or you're home alone, everyone has a favorite Christmas movie, unless, of course, you're a Grinch. We asked 1,000 Americans, tell us your favorite Christmas movie. And the winner is Home Alone, number one, chosen by about 15% of people made that the number one Christmas movie, followed by Elf. And then Grinch, which, by the way, I think Grinch gets 2 entries there, right? Because there's the cartoon Grinch and there's the movie Grinch. I think most people are probably picking the movie Grinch, followed by my personal favorite, It's a Wonderful Life, and then Die Hard, which came out in July. So there's a debate about whether it is a Christmas movie. We'll talk about that in a second. A Christmas Story and A Christmas Vacation are honorable mentions here. Worth pointing out, no movie that got any substantial votes was made more recently than 2003, so we can empirically say the public thinks they don't make them like they used to. We also ask more generally, how do you entertain yourself on Christmas? And here are the results. 66% watch or stream a movie at home. 37% are watching live sports. 29% go to the movies. 23% attend a play, musical, or concert. This is during the holiday season, I suspect. Honorable mentions are going to a sporting event and traveling out of the country for 8% of the public. The NFL seems to have figured out that people like sports on Christmas. This is the third year in a row that there are 3 NFL games. I think a couple of them are streamed. I think one of them is on regular network. And they tend to rate more highly than the average game, though it might have eaten into the NBA game audience, which used to own the day for sports. We also picked up, by the way, a bit of the K-shaped economy with how people spend their Christmas. When it comes to will you see a movie in a theater, 38% of the financial elite say they will. And by the way, that's people with higher salaries and more money in the market. So those are the gaps between the higher and lower income on the issue of attending a play or a concert, as well as attending a sporting event. More people with money tend to do those things on Christmas Day. So, guys, I know what you want to talk about. We could talk about the GDP numbers yesterday and this K-shaped stuff that was in there.
I have one
or
movie.
The Die Hard Christmas
I
debate.
have one movie question for you, which is I am finding, because I have children, that they are less interested in watching movies than they used to be. That they're more interested, unfortunately, in the doom scroll on the phone. Harder to get them to watch a 2 or 3 hour, or like a real movie, because of just the length of it. By the way, we were trying to watch. Have you seen F1?
Oh, the Formula One thing.
Which is now on Apple. I thought, that's like an action-packed thing. Can't really hold their attention for as long as they used to. Whereas I feel like sports continue to hold people's attention.
Maybe Joe and I think have kids more in similar age than yours.
Right.
One thing I found was that things that I thought were great movies and you want to turn the kids onto them.
Yeah, they're not interested.
They're like, Dad, this is really boring. The cutting, that kind of stuff. And I don't know, you have younger kids, so they're even more attuned to the short attention span.
Yes, and I just wonder what that's going to do longer term.
I think that's what's going on with the whole media right now, right? Which is the idea. I mean, sometimes you're like, well, you want these quick video things that are out there.
But then it raises a question about the value of the libraries of all these streaming services. If you don't think the next generation is going to care about movies the same way or TV shows the same way because of the attention.
Definitely changing a little.
My 25-year-old son now is in a process right now of watching old movies.
Okay.
So he came back to a bunch of stuff. I was like, Johnny, what's this? He's like, no, he doesn't.
There's a lot of references to Christmas in Die Hard. I mean, it's the Christmas party at
what a great movie.
Nakatomi Plaza. They kill the one guy, and he comes down in his Santa Claus outfit, and then Han says, now there are only 6 of you. Ho, ho, ho. Remember, Han says that?
The only thing I remember from that movie is yippee-ki-yay, you know what.
Yeah. You don't remember when the guy comes, he snaps his neck, he comes down, they send him down on the elevator, and the elevator doors open, and someone screams, and he's got ho, ho, ho.
But the debate is that you could do that whole movie without any Christmas reference.
You could. What's Hans's name?
Bruce Willis apparently said it's a Bruce Willis movie, not a Christmas
Hans Gruber.
movie.
Hans Gruber, who really didn't have any political ideology.
I thought the more interesting debate might be one about, Potter versus Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, we sit here and where do we stand as capitalists here on Potter taking over a failed savings and loan, Bailey running a risky book, right?
Even back then, we know we're Hollywood.
There was no FDIC insurance at that point.
What's that?
There was no FDIC
insurance, and he tried to cajole people to keep your money in the bank.
Right.
Because there's a lot of interesting economic stuff that's been written about this Potter versus Bailey. One thing that is for sure.
What year was A Wonderful Life supposed to have taken place in? Do we know?
Well, it was current in 1939.
Was it? Yeah.
Well, no, because there was FDIC, having now written 1929.
There was in 39?
FDIC insurance
you would know.
Was put in place in 1933 as part of the Glass-Steagall Act.
I think then they would have had it. Because I think it was 1939.
I don't remember if they did.
No,
one thing that is for sure, though,
pre the Bank Act of 1940.
Our lending system is totally anonymous, right? The idea that you would know the person you're borrowing from,
right?
And when George Bailey gives that famous speech of, I don't have your money. Your money is in, so-and-so's house. Mm-hmm. That does it. Every single debt market we have is completely anonymous.
Martini. And then that horrible guy took over the bar, remember, when George had lived?
That's right.
His name is terrible.
See, get your kids to watch that.
What about Christmas Vacation? Why is Christmas Vacation? I thought that would be higher.
I could see if it's on the list.
No, you said it was an honorable mention.
Well, here's the thing. We've done these in two different ways. I'm interested in your thought. Sometimes we create the list and ask people about it, or we just take their answer and we catalog it. And we did the latter with this one. So I don't know if we'd had that on the list, if that would have rated higher. You read them. I don't know. That's Chevy Chase, right?
And Randy Quaid and Beverly D'Angelo and I think there was a different Rusty.
Why do you think they haven't made a movie since then, 2003? Why has it been so long since
to make a
one has come on and been part of the whole firmament?
Are there any good new songs? Like Mariah Carey's the last song that took off, right?
Yeah.
George Michael. Remember George Michael?
Yeah. So we're just locked in. That's it. Christmas now and forever.
When the boomers are gone, the world's going to look a lot different, Steve. Not as good.
Better?
No. Like if George had never been born.
Don't you worry, though, that you sit there and say, this is how things were and they were better. And then you kind of foreclose that kind of stuff. It's like, they may have good ideas.
No, it's true.
These millennials and these Gen Zers.
No.
That's your kids you're talking about.
I know. They're different.
They're different, right.
Tomorrow, sports fans can watch 5 basketball matchups during the annual Christmas games. It's a tradition nearly as old as the NBA itself. Joining us right now is Rich Kleiman. He is the co-founder and CEO of Boardroom. Let's Tango. Rich, it's nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you. How are you guys?
We're good. Merry Christmas. So tomorrow we have a lot of NBA, but we also have a lot of NFL going on. So I'm curious how you think this is all gonna play out.
Yeah, I actually think the NBA's got a great opportunity tomorrow. I was interested to see how all things would unfold when the NFL started playing on Christmas Day. But tomorrow, the NBA has 5 incredible games. And unfortunately for the NFL, they have 3 games that don't mean as much as they probably thought it would mean when the schedule came out. Right. You have Broncos, the Chiefs are not in it. You have Vikings, Lions, Vikings are not in it, and then Cowboys, Commanders, both those guys are not in it. So the NBA has 5 incredible games, good mix of the old stars and these young stars. So I think it's a great day tomorrow for the NBA.
Like someone pointed out, all third string quarterbacks in 3 of the games. But you can still bet. I mean, you can still bet, but it's even hard to bet when you don't know, whether anybody's going to complete a pass.
Where are you going to be, Rich, tomorrow?
I am going to be in the Bahamas, my friends, but I will be glued to the NBA games. And Joe, it is not hard to bet. There will still be tons of gambling happening, but from the stakes of the games, you won't have Mahomes playing tomorrow. So that's obviously big with the Chiefs-Broncos game at night. And I don't know if you saw the NBA lineup, but they have Oklahoma City and San Antonio. So you have Wemby and then obviously Shea. You have Anthony Edwards versus Jokic. You have KD versus LeBron. You have the Knicks at the Garden. And then you have Steph versus the Mavericks. I mean, these are 5 incredible games. It's like 13 hours of NBA. Well,
that's true. I'm transitioning. I'm transitioning into NBA. I'm not quite there. It's still early, isn't it, Rich? It's still sort of getting out of the College Bowl and the NFL. It's time. I gotta move in. I didn't know what you just described is really good, and it makes me happy for tomorrow.
Yeah, and you should get into it. I mean, I think the NBA did a great job of making the early games matter with the NBA Cup. And obviously the Spurs just won it last week, beating the Knicks. Or the Knicks won it. Sorry, the Knicks beat the Spurs. Right. But right now, with the West being so competitive, you have like 6 teams that are 4 or 5 games apart. The NBA is just like filled with incredible young stars right now. And then you still have LeBron, Steph, and Kevin, and James Harden, some of these older guys that are still performing at a high level. But Wemby and Shea and Anthony Edwards, this is like the best young crop of stars that the league's seen since these older guys were young.
What do you make, Rich? This is maybe taking it off of Christmas for a second, but starting in January, there's this plan for the NBA to try to expand in Europe, try to do this collaboration with FIBA. What do you think that means for the league long term?
I think it's incredible. I mean, obviously, the game has grown so much globally. So many of the top players in the league are from outside of America. With the All-Star game format this year is going to be the USA versus the world. But I think the ability to tap into some of these existing fan bases, these like deep-rooted communities around some of these international football teams, these soccer teams, the PSGs and Real Madrids of the world, you don't get the opportunity to bring a built-in fan base like that. And I think these cities are ready for basketball. I mean, it's as popular around the world now as it's ever been. And I think from the NBA standpoint, to be able to like build that brand and cement that brand around the world, since some of those players are playing in their league in America, is an incredible opportunity. And I think down the road, you'll have the ability for some of these guys, some of these college players that you've got to know that become like familiar names to go play over there. And I think there'll be like a real demand for it. I'm excited for it. I think it's an incredible opportunity for the league. Do you see a moment where there really is transatlantic playing? I mean, people have been waiting for, these new planes to get faster. But do you ever see a moment? I mean, people, obviously there's different exhibition games and other things that go on. But do you ever see 5-10 years from now a completely different sort of setup? Yeah, I think it will happen slowly. Like, I think, you already have games in the preseason where teams go over to the Middle East, they go over to Asia. Listen, if you're flying from New York to LA or New York to Portland, you're talking about a 6-hour flight, 6.5-hour flight. So the idea of flying to go play in London or Paris, I don't think is so crazy. And I think that there'll be the ability to have like some fun in mid-season tournaments, the way they do with the NBA Cup. But I don't think travel ultimately becomes the issue. I think that league will probably run and stand on its own. But as the league evolves and the town continue to evolve, I think there'll be great synergy with the two leagues. You want to pick the NBA Finals this year right now? Too early? It's not too early. I think in the East, you have like a surprising Detroit team right now who's been first place most of the season. I think the Knicks clearly are in contention. Philly, when healthy, can compete with anybody. I think Miami's surprising people. But in the West, Oklahoma City, who got off to an incredible start and everyone thought would run away with it, they've now lost a few games. The Spurs are incredible. I mean, the Spurs have such a great young nucleus, and Wemby obviously is like a once-in-a-lifetime player. So if I had to guess, I'm obviously going to go with my man KD and the Houston Rockets versus the Knicks. And then final question, hot new sport that's going to come on the scene in 2026. Is there anything out there that we got to keep our eyes on? I know people talk about a sports bubble, but there's, here we are in this moment. Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about that. I mean, I think it's not a sports bubble. There's demand for all these sports. There may not be a demand for a business model for all these sports, especially if they try to replicate the model of traditional leagues. But Padel has just grown in popularity and exploded in popularity. There's some great new brands around Padel. Everywhere you travel now, these hotels are building Padel courts. There's clubs opening. There's some great new clubs in the city that have opened. My friend Ronnie Feek from Kith just opened Kith Ivy. There's the Reserve Padel Club. So I think that the Padel League is starting to gain a little bit of traction. The sport is so big in Europe. I do see Padel having an opportunity, but again, you have to build these brands with a unique business. You can't think of this as trying to replicate the NBA or the NFL or the MLB. Okay. Rich, want to thank you. Want to wish you a Merry Christmas and look forward to seeing you a lot more in 2026. Thank you. Same here. Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas.
Coming up on Squawk Pod, Santa Claus is coming to town tonight, but he's already started his journey around the world. We'll talk to the experts at NORAD who have been tracking his path for 70 years. The U.S. Air Force's NORTHCOM Commander General Gregory Guillot.
Santa is probably the most disciplined and capable aviator that we've ever seen, and so he generally can avoid any type of conflict.
Welcome back to Squawk Pod.
You're watching Squawk Box on CNBC, a special edition, a Christmas Eve edition of Squawk Box. I'm Andrew Ross Sorkin, along with Joe Kernen. Becky is off enjoying Christmas Eve.
Santa Claus has started his Christmas journey, and the experts at North American Aerospace Defense Command are tracking his path now for the 70th year. Joining us now from NORAD, Air Force General Gregory. Guillot, General, it's good to have you on. Good morning. Godspeed. Be careful. Do you have time to talk to us, or should you be somewhere else?
Of course, I have time to talk. Merry Christmas to you.
Are you sure we don't want to, safety is paramount here. Can you tell the story, since it's 70 years, what happened before I was born, Andrew, 1950? Yeah. So this is before I was born, General, when this first happened.
Yes.
Some kid, there was a phone number on TV to call Santa, and he transposed the number and got NORAD, or the predecessor to NORAD. That really happened.
That's exactly right. Colonel Shoup answered the call. He was on alert. We have the watch and have had it for 70 years, and he quickly thought through the problem and eased the kid's concern and told him that Santa was airborne but not able to talk at that time, and that started the tradition that's continued for the 70 years since.
That's really an unbelievable story. Is the weather cooperating this year?
It is. Santa's airborne on his way towards the international date line and Russia right now. Weather is a little warmer in some places than expected, but we checked yesterday and no cause for concern, no delays, no cancellations.
I assume that you need to alert air traffic controllers and everyone else. We had an incident earlier this week where Elon Musk keeps sending up some of these rockets that since it's experimental, many of them are designed, or what happens is they explode, and it actually affected some air travel. I guess you need to be very careful in terms of Santa as well.
Yes, we're very careful. We coordinate with all the right agencies, but Santa is probably the most disciplined and capable aviator that we've ever seen. And so he generally can avoid any type of conflict. And, I can't recall a single incident where we've had him near miss anybody. He's a skilled aviator. Do you still get calls from kids?
Oh, yes. Today, will you get a lot? How many will you get? How many people do you have manning the phones? You don't answer all of them, do you?
No, I personally don't know, but we already have on staff over about 200 or more volunteers throughout the entire day that are answering calls all day long. And so it'll go from our time at about 4 a.m. all the way through the night to track Santa's journey.
So right now, where is he exactly?
Right now, he's over Russia and making his way towards the Wake Islands.
Making his way towards the world is a dangerous place. I would imagine flying over Russia at this point has its own concerns as well, General, and we love to do this every year. What's the next stop?
Next stop after Russia, Wake in the Marshall Islands, and then we don't always know his exact path, but he'll work his way through the Asian continent westward towards Europe and then eventually North America.
And how does NORAD actually track him? Is it radar? Is it satellite? Is it what actually technique is used?
Well, all of the above: radar, satellite, as well as fighter aircraft, airborne radar aircraft. We take all of those different systems and layer them together to make sure that we can track them through all weather, all conditions. Rudolph's with his shiny nose and the infrared sensors is helpful for us to track that as well.
Okay. General, thank you. Any changes? Do you call it the Department of War now, General? In the notes, it is. It's the Department of War at this point, is it not?
Yes.
And NORAD's
that's
part
right.
of that? Yeah?
That's right.
You see any major changes in the last couple of years?
Certainly not with this mission. We have a very reliable teammate in Santa. We have really great systems that we use every day to track activity around the continental United States and Canada, and we use the same systems to track Santa. Everything's on track and 100% operational.
General Guillot, I know you got to go. You've got a lot of these hits coming. It's always enjoyable. Thank you. We appreciate it, and thanks for what you're doing. I can't imagine if you weren't doing what you're doing, could be a problem. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
I just want you to know, they're selling telephones for children to call Santa, but I don't know if those phones are the real thing. This guy's got the real phone.
And I don't know if you have any traditions around Christmas, what you watch, but if you watch the Christmas Vacation, the classic with Randy Quaid and Chevy Chase, and there is a scene that people still talk about all the time where Chevy Chase says, "I'm here, Santa's just crossed the northern border," and Randy Quaid, who I know watches sometime, says, "Clark, are you serious, Clark?" You remember that? And then the turkey explodes. You remember that? There are great.
Are you going to watch that tonight?
My daughter watches it every year, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to watch it.
What's on your? Are you?
I love
Sound
It's a
of
Wonderful
Music? What do you do?
No, I love. That's not a Christmas movie.
It is though.
But it's not. And
but people
these
watch it at Christmas.
They do. It's a Wonderful Life. Come on. You cried everything. That's really one of the few times I actually get one little tiny tear at the very end when he hears that Sam Wainwright, Donna Reed, who would be the greatest mother anyone could have.
I am watching, by the way, I got tickets, Christmas night, after we have Christmas dinner, Marty Supreme.
I'm going today.
You're going today?
I'm going today.
Okay, so we are going to
family thing.
Are you here
the whole family?
Are you on Friday? Can we do a review together? You're not here on Friday?
No, I'm not here on Friday.
But call me. Don't call me, actually, because I don't want to know what you think before I go see it. And then
our friend, we got to go see it. Our friend's in it, and he has hair.
That's true.
Kevin O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah. And he said they needed someone to play an a-hole. And he raised his hand and said, "I'm your man." And he said he was so good at it. We got 40 seconds, Andrew.
40 long seconds.
40 long seconds to wish everyone
a very healthy
holiday
Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas. And thank
Happy
you.
New Year.
Thanks for the viewership, putting up with us. And,
it's true.
Liesman and they got teary. I guess we should. Do we want to? No.
I can cry at a car commercial.
I know you can.
So I could start crying.
But we like to bicker too. No, we like to discuss too. And we cover we
cover all the sides.
You're Mr. Yin, I'm Mr. Yang. We cover the whole universe.
But I'm Mr. Yang.
You might be Mr. Yang, I might be Mr. Yang. We gotta go. Make sure you join us Friday.
That's the podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Merry Christmas and happy holidays from our CNBC family to yours. Squawk Box is hosted by Joe Kernen, Becky Quick, and Andrew Ross Sorkin, weekday mornings on CNBC starting at 6 Eastern. You can get the smartest bits of that TV show right into your ears as long as you follow Squawk Pod wherever you're listening now. We will meet you back here on Friday. We're off tomorrow. Enjoy the holiday.
We are clear. Thanks, guys.